Welcome back to the channel, guys. So this one is pretty much gonna be straightforward. This is literally my self-filming gear from 2023 to 2024. From 2023, the stuff that I had, I went with the cheapest stuff I could find, affordable stuff, just because I was just getting into self-filming. To start off, I had a GoPro 5. Now it still works, still could possibly use it in a pinch. I just need to remove this cover right here on the GoPro case and actually keep it charged. I have an external battery going in there at all times, but that was pretty much all I have to do for the GoPro 5. Still records good footage. It's very grainy to a distance, but if the deer, like in our season, if that deer is up close to you, it'll be in good frame. I pulled it up here right now on the GoPro website. It still says $399. I doubt that is at the actual price for one. GoPro Hero 5 Black. It says it's the best GoPro ever. That's debatable. Probably when it was released it was, obviously. But has the touchscreen on the back, which is nice. I do like the touchscreen. Video resolution is 4K at 30 frames per second, which is good. That's kind of what you want in a GoPro in a second angle anyway. It takes photos, it does all the stuff that you really, it has voice control too. I used that a few times. It worked, but it just, for a beginner, it was perfect for when I wanted to actually film and do all that kind of stuff, have either a head mount, chest mount. I actually filmed my first archery buck with this. It's actually on the channel here. Up north, it was shot with my crossbow. It was this one right here on the wall. A nice little 8-point, nice 8-point. I was happy with him. Big woods, public land, loved it. And then we've always had this camera for the podcast. We never really used it. We just never really got into self-filming or filming the podcast in general. Just was more cumbersome, more hectic to do everything. And now, I don't know, I kind of enjoy it, honestly. We had the Canon Vixia HF-R800. We bought it new, all online. I believe it was from Best Buy or something like that. But it's a handy cam, and it is very handy. It literally would fit in your pocket. This is, right now, it's in the palm of my hand. It doesn't, from the tips of my fingers back to the back of my palm, my wrist right here, it fits in there perfectly. Battery life isn't that bad. It doesn't have a shoe mount on top, so I actually bought a shoe mount that had double-sided tape on the bottom of it, and I put that on the top here, and it fits it perfectly. I use the external mic that's actually on my new camera right here on this. It's a shotgun mic. I highly recommend shotgun mics for anyone looking to get into self-filming in general. It's less work, less you got to worry about. Mine is an external charged shotgun mic, so that's something you might want to look into, depending if your camera can actually power a shotgun mic as well, which the Canon Vixia cannot. But these has 57 times zoom, so the zoom's really good. It has a 3.28 megapixel full HD image sensor, has a DV4 image processor, record video directly to a removable SD memory card, which most camcorders do, most cameras do. I know some camcorders, when I was looking at new ones, some have a built-in SD bank where they can hold up to like 32 gigs of memory before you put in an SD card, or if your SD card goes over, then it'll save to the camera. Some GoPros also have that as well. And then it does MP4 1080p. That's the thing with these, no 4K, just does 1080p. In my mind, it wasn't that big a deal. Still is not that big a deal. I'm still probably going to record 1080p on most things, just because memory cards, you can put a big memory card in this if you want to. I usually just ran a 64 gig memory card. I did, however, upgrade to a 128 when I started recording the podcast, and as well as hunting and doing all that kind of stuff. It's very lightweight. So, I mean, it says lightweight on there, but I mean, this is a lot lighter than my new camera that I bought, which will be going over after this here. But I put some hush tape on here. The reason I actually upgraded was because it turns on, everything turns on, but water got in here, I guess, and ruined the screen, the touch screen right here, which is another good thing if you're looking to get into self-filming and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg. This here, I think you can buy for like $380, brand new. and it does everything that you need it to do. It was a great camera. I honestly wouldn't have upgraded unless I needed to. Once that broke, I was like, well, it still records, you just don't know what you're pointing at, and I don't want to just randomly point at things in the woods and guess it when I come to edit it. So I put hush tape on there, covered everything up. I took it out to Illinois with me when it was like 19 degrees. It was lasted pretty good out there in that. Wish I had some of that footage still from that, but I do not anymore. That's one thing that you should probably look into, is getting an external hard drive for your computer. Get a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. Don't go cheap though. Get something that is in your budget, but also, you know, is not a cheap piece of equipment. Don't buy the ones from Walmart, the On brand, and expect that to last and save all your stuff, especially if you're shooting in 4K or HD. It's going to fill up space very quickly. And also you'll have a problem like I had a couple months ago, where the hard drive actually stopped connecting to any computer. So you'll have that as well. So just make sure you buy something. That's the most important thing. If you run a cheaper setup like the GoPro 5 and the Canon Vixia R800, I always get confused with this name, to be honest with you. The R800, you can probably get this honestly for under $500. A camera and the GoPro for under $500. If you're looking to get into filming in general, if you don't know what arm to go for, you don't have to buy the most expensive one. Depends how far you walk in, all that kind of stuff. The Muddy arm is a very solid arm. It has the bubbles on it, has a nice fluid head on it as well. It comes with it. And right now, actually on Sports Warehouse, you can actually get this for $39.99, and it's literally this right here. It is the Muddy arm with a bracket, everything like that. It's a great starter. I put hush tape on this too, just to quiet it up. You can't really hear that right now, but it's a solid arm. I had the base actually set up in the studio here because this is what I set in the studio to actually film with. Very convenient, honestly. This isn't too bad. It's when you get the arm and you have the ratchet. The base and the ratchet are probably the heaviest. So you have this ratchet that comes with it. So it's literally a full-blown ratchet that comes with it. It sucks to have to ratchet it down, but if you go slowly, if you honestly tighten the thing up, just like you would a ratchet strap on a truck, if you pull that thing tight and then ratchet it slowly, probably put a little bit of hush tape around there as well, you'll probably be good, honestly. If I have issues with my new arm, I might go back to this one. I'll probably have to buy a new one anyway, because I did some modifications to this base to actually get it to work in the studio and actually stay on the wall and actually be able to record the podcast. Altogether, if you're looking at getting into filming and you don't really know what to do or what to buy or anything like that, I would highly recommend going on the cheaper route just to start to make sure you like it and get into the rhythm of self-filming. Do that for like a year or two. You can probably get a Canon R800 on Facebook Marketplace or used off a website for probably $200. The GoPro 5, you can probably get that for dirt cheap. I mean, just look for a good deal somewhere with the GoPro. You can even probably get a better GoPro for a cheaper price or the same price as a new GoPro 5. But then the Muddy arm is a great arm to start with. Just get started with it, see if you like it first. It's going to be cool to look back on, but if you're trying to build a story, you want kind of two different angles. And you can actually see that doing that process in the self-filming series that were released over the summer. So go check those out. So honestly, this would be my setup still if I needed to. So for my setup for the 2024 hunting season, I upgraded pretty much everything. I got a new camera arm, I got a new GoPro, and I got a new main camera. To start out, I first had to upgrade my GoPro from the 5 from 2023 to a GoPro 10, which I got this on a heck of a deal at Walmart for $149, brand new. No one has touched this yet. I'm the first one to touch it. I put a 128 gig SD card in there. SanDisk Extreme Micro SD. Put that in with the GoPro. Right here I pulled it up on the website. You actually 2x speed with ease. It's one of the most versatile GoPros that came out. I would recommend anything above a 9. I did a lot of research on GoPros. Now if you can afford a brand new 12, go with 12. It's probably even better than the 10. But the 9s seem to have some issues, and if you go below that, the video quality isn't as great as the 10. And for the price that I got the 10 at, I would highly recommend the 10. Unreal 5.3K 60 and 4K 120 video resolution, plus 23 megapixel photos. So it takes really good photos, takes really great videos. Actually, before I was using my phone to do all my scouting videos and all that kind of stuff, put it on YouTube here, I actually have since started using the GoPro. I was worried about the audio. Audio is perfect. It's nice and crisp. Now what I do when I'm scouting and I walk through the woods, I have this arm, which I actually need to buy a new one of these because this thing broke. I brought it off the Temu site for dirt cheap, for like 15 bucks with shipping, but it worked for the meantime. But as you can see, it's very breakable, bendable. It's not the sturdiest, but I need to get a new one of them. But I would put the GoPro on top of that, just have it facing me. Nice thing about this is you have a little selfie screen kind of right here on the GoPro, where you can actually see yourself as you're walking through the woods. And then it's waterproof up to 33 feet. So it's perfect for if you're hunting in the rain. If you don't want to use your main camera, you can use this as the camera to record yourself until you need to get this camera out, or until it clears up. So that way you can still possibly get that harvest on camera and still be able to build a whole story up, especially with the rain. It automatically uploads to the cloud, which I don't have the cloud. I just literally just upload it to my computer, export it, cut and paste it into my folder that I have. Time warp and slow-mo, which is huge. A slow-mo, I haven't used it yet. I'm excited to use it though, because you get those shots, you want to review the footage, you can really slow it down and watch the whole process to see exactly where you hit if you're unsure about where you hit that deer at. This was a huge upgrade for me. It's just, it has the built-in mount on the bottom too, so you don't have to worry about that. It just takes great footage all around, and you get this little bag with it as well. So this actually will hold, it can hold my camera, my main camera, if I really wanted it to, without the shotgun mic on top. But the GoPros, I'm going to put both GoPros in here, external battery, you name it's going to be in there, because if one GoPro takes a crap, I'm going to have another GoPro just going, just in case. Now, before I bought the GoPro, I went out and I bought a new arm. So the new arm I bought was the Beast arm. Now this one here is a three bends in it, so it can fold out 3 times. It's better for saddle hunting and even for stand hunting, so it's a great setup for that. The one thing I would recommend, you have to get a new, put any fluid head on here, you need to get one of these screw adapters to put on top. But right now they actually have a sale going on for $164.99 on beastgear.com. The weight is 1 pound 15 ounces, folding length is 12.5, extended length is 27. You can also remove these arms, so like if you don't want the third arm on, you can take the one arm off, move it to the next one, and that way you only have 2 arms. So let's say if you only want 2 arms, it will come out to right there. So your fluid head would be right here. So some people like to get in smaller trees for saddle hunting, and that would be all you would need, those 2 arms. But it holds tight to the tree. The one thing I don't like is there was no bubble in there. So I went on Amazon, I bought a bubble, and I put some Gorilla Glue underneath that, just to make sure that I know it's level and that I don't have to worry about that with the camera. Stainless steel rod, insert steel rod with black zinc coating, rubberized tightened knob, Beast Gear antler bracket. So that's this bracket on the back here. That's their signature Beast bracket that goes on all their stands, sticks, etc. It's made of 6061 T6 aluminum, and it comes in black. I bought stealth tape off the website, I believe, as well, and I just stealth taped it up, just put it on everything that I could. Now I think there's an option where you can pay to have it stealth taped through them. I'm not sure. The other thing that I'm testing out right now currently. So I have this fluid head, I bought it cheap off Amazon. It works, but I just don't like this right here. I don't like this at all, where it slides in and out. You gotta tighten the side down to put it on. So I tested out yesterday. This muddy fluid head right here actually comes off, and I like this this attachment method a lot easier, a lot better than this one here where you gotta tighten it down. Because if it's cold, you tighten it down, you might not be able to tighten that down the whole way. So that's one thing that I might change up. So the main camera is recording this right now, but I went with a Sony FDR A633 4K camcorder. Now, you don't need 4K. You don't need, if you only want to do 1080p, that's all you need. You don't have to get crazy and go 4K right off the bat. But it's, for this camera, this one actually right now online is $524, so that's not a bad price. If you're able to spend the extra money and you want to go, instead of that Canon, you want to go to a Sony AX33, I would highly recommend this. I love the camera. It shoots great. The specs of it here, it's a heavier camera, so it's not a handy camera you can just put in your pocket. It's a heavier camera, but it's 600 grams. So from 600 grams to a pound, it's 1.3 pounds. So it's like I said, it's a little bit heavier, but you know, if you're walking, if you want good footage, this is probably the camera you should go with. Megapixels 8.29, maximum video resolution is 3840 by 2160 4K UHD. Max FPS, max resolution is 1280 720 HD. Sensor type is CMOS. Year of release was 2015. So it's a little bit, it's not a brand new camera. This one actually was used, but it was in excellent condition, and it's definitely working well. But it's a very high quality camera. I love it. I can't wait to film with it this year. I'll show you how the Beast Arm and even the Muddy go on saddle setup as well. So as you guys can see right here, I have the XRP gear straps going through the X2s that are on my Invader platform, and I just have them strapped over here for the Beast gear arm, and it's on there pretty tightly. Like maybe it'll move just a little bit, but for the most part it won't move once it's on there. So I've just put the Muddy on here. Obviously you're going to have a base, this right here, so you're going to have this base right here on here as well, or in your pack, whichever one. I would recommend putting in your pack. So I just did the same thing. I put it underneath the fluid head though. I didn't want to break this. And the same thing down here. Just put it right through the same way you do the Beast gear arm, or any arm you have will fit in between here. The stand, with the retrograde stand and the cold world, pretty much the same thing. I put 2 sticks on each side, and then I put the camera arm in the middle, and then I put the striker pack in the middle of that, on the back of that, or I attached the platform sticks and the arm to my striker pack, and I'm walking in with that. But that's my 2024 setup and my 2023 setup. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck this season. Hopefully you get something on camera. If you do, let us know. We'd love to share it and hear your story. Thanks, guys.